All right, everybody, welcome back to Movie Talks and Chill. We are your hosts. I am Tony Serrano.
I am Gavin Butts.
I'm Patrick Wall.
And in this episode, I'll let you introduce him, Patrick.
Well, this time we're talking about a very famous actor who unfortunately left us too soon in 2020. He was knighted. He is Sir Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yes, he talks a lot like this.
You just insulted all of Scotland.
No, I
Yeah.
did not.
Only my family and my entire heritage.
Yeah, right.
And also well known as the person who's most impersonated on Celebrity Jeopardy on
Yes.
SNL.
Yes.
I wonder if he had to give approval for that.
I think he was probably sitting back laughing his
ass
you know
off.
what off.
I'll take the tips now, Alex. That's Let It Snow.
Dolly Parton. That's famous titles.
Not famous titties.
Not a fan of the ladies, are you, Trebek?
I just like how he roasts Trebek like every time.
You would put cat under this letter in the alphabet. What is the R's? No, not in the R's. Not in the R's. That's not what your mother said last night.
Well, that one of my favorite ones. He's like, he's talking. He's like, oh God, like, what's it? Will Ferrell paying Trebek? He's like, oh God, Sean Connery. And he's like, I pose a conundrum to you, a riddle, if you will. He's like, what's the difference between you and a mallet with a cold? One's a sick duck. I can't remember how it goes, but your mother's a whore.
Well, I love it. One of those like Final Jeopardy. Like, what is the opposite of up? And he writes below. He's like, oh my God, you got it right. What'd you wager? Me. Below me.
Another one is write down a number. Write down any number, and he gets to Sean Connery, and he's like, a V. Well, despite your best efforts, that is the Roman numeral 5. You got the answer correct. Your wager. Suck it, Trebek. Oh, you Canadian butts.
So now that we're done with the impersonations of SNL,
Yes.
we can talk about the real man, Mr. Sean Connery.
The man, myth, and legend.
Yes.
So top movies for me, it's like I've seen all of his James Bond movies. Unfortunately, I know I've seen them. My uncle made me watch them, but it's been decades since I've seen them, so I can't speak to them that much outside of like Goldmember. I think the bad guy's name is Goldfinger. Like I always get those two confused.
No, it's Goldfinger's the name.
Oh, okay. So the bad guy's name is
Goldmember
Goldmember.
was the Austin Powers
Yeah,
movie.
Goldmember
okay.
was awesome. Yeah,
But
the remake.
Can I paint as you gold?
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
but I'm gonna go with The Rock.
I knew you were. Well, I think everybody here at this table knew you were going to say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't talk about that movie, so this might be a surprise to you, but I love that movie.
Also, his favorite Nick Cage movie.
Yep.
No, that was Con Air.
Really?
I mean, when did we record that episode? I think that was year 1. We'd have to go back and listen to it.
Did we do Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Nick Cage.
Oh, we got to do a follow-up.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Because we also have to go back and listen to make sure we don't repeat ourselves.
Well, you got to watch that movie. I don't want to veer too far off. We can talk offline about it. But the movie you had mentioned when we were bringing up, it was a couple weeks ago we brought it up, and there was a movie called Mom and Dad.
And also,
Oh, yeah.
and also his new Spider-Man show, Spider Noir.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, leaving Nick Cage where he is, which is doing great.
Yep.
So, The Rock.
The Rock. If you want me to recap this movie, happy to take the reins for a little bit.
How much time you got?
Well, I know exactly how much time we got. We got 57 minutes.
A story about a man and another man on a rock
On a rock.
fighting military men.
Fighting off seals.
Yes.
Literally.
Well, the
On a
Marine
rock.
Force Recon killed the SEALs.
Not all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they were weren't they Marines?
Ed Harris's
They were-
command.
Yeah, they were the
Marines.
Marines.
Yeah,
They were Force Recon.
You got to wonder if, speaking of that, if anybody who's in the military, a Marine or a Navy SEAL, was watching that movie, they'd be like, "No way, we would have taken them down
Yeah.
like the opposite."
Yeah.
It's like,
We
creates
would've-
this huge rivalry between the Marines and the Navy SEAls.
We would have been in a room like that.
Yeah.
We would have came in from the air dropped in.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Okay. Hush.
I thought that
Gavin's
was a storm
stomach's
rolling in.
Favorite movie
I'd be
of his?
surprised that the mic. Be surprised that the mic didn't pick that one up.
Don't worry about it.
But if you haven't seen it, The Rock, it's basically Ed Harris's garrison of Marine Force Recon. because they were special forces. Whenever they died in the field of duty, they're not paid compensations or anything like that. So he takes over Alcatraz.
Well, it was more of the missions that they were doing were like so covert they didn't get the backing of the
Yeah.
government. So
and they also didn't get the recognition or the.
Yeah.
That was the other thing too.
The only reason why
or the
he did-
respect of saying they were in
no,
this.
no military funeral. No, it was just
Not even a goddamn flag over their grave.
boom.
But so he's fed up and tired of it. He's a 1-star general, I think, in the movie, maybe 2. But he decides like, no. Too many good men have died under my command. They need at least something. So we held 80 something hostages on Alcatraz with VX poison rockets. If you in the term of the movie, this is like the most deadly gas known to humankind that we created because scientists were bored. So one of the first, like the best scenes is them breaking into the military installation where they house this chemical. They steal, but one like drops and somebody dies because the gas is released into the.
Yeah, they have to seal off the room.
He
so it
doesn't just die.
kill-
He's horrifically
Boiled to death.
Yeah.
tortured with this
his
stuff.
body melts from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. A little lightheartedness.
He passed away gently. No, he did not.
No, he threw up his lung.
Yeah.
It's fun
Which
talking
was
about people
goo.
deteriorating.
Yeah.
His brain came out of his eye socket.
Yeah.
But because of this, they hire an FBI chemical weapons expert played by Nicolas Cage. They're like, okay, so we're going to do Navy SEALs plus Sean Connery, who is a British SAS officer. If you don't know, that's Secret Air Service. It's Britain's special ops. But he's been held in prison in America since they caught him in like the 70s or something like that. So he's the only one to quote unquote ever escape Alcatraz. So they bring him along because he knows the inner guts of Alcatraz. Basically, once they get there, the SEALs die, effectively. They just get their ass kicked. And then it's just...
Well, they get ambushed.
Yeah.
In the shower room.
Yeah. But then it's just Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage going around dismantling these rockets and kicking ass and taking names. It's fantastic. I don't know how else. You got Ed Harris, John C. McGinley, the guy who played Candyman. I can't remember his name. He just recently passed away as well, I think.
Yeah.
Tony.
It is Tony.
Yeah.
I just can't think of his last name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was in the final
Candyman.
destination.
Yeah, and he was also in the last Candyman.
He was in the last Candyman too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reprising his role.
But Nicolas Cage kills him by shoving the green VX poison into his mouth and just like uppercutting him. And then he dies of liquefaction. And then Nick Cage has to stab himself in the heart.
Yeah, but at least the other guy, it just broke around him. This guy, he had it smashed in
yeah.
his mouth.
Yeah.
That's got to really, and that's got to be a hell of a punch because those things, I mean, I know they're kind of fragile, but you have to.
Yeah, he probably chipped his tooth.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. Candyman Tony had died from a rocket being
Right,
launched
yeah,
at
yeah,
him.
he's-
It was the other guy who
Yeah.
had to eat the green ball of poison.
Rocket Man.
Yeah.
I don't like soft shit.
Yeah. Well, it's you. You're the Rocket Man.
You're the Rocket Man. And he gone.
And what's his name? And I apologize, I can't think of his name, but he's the one who passed away that was in The West Wing. He played.
Oh, he played
chief of
FBI
staff.
Director Womack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was the chief of staff in West Wing.
He
Yeah.
was the one that was basically trying to keep Mason,
Yeah.
Sean Connery's character, under wraps.
Yeah.
And because he also knew a bunch of secrets, government secrets. That was the
And
other-
that's also the conspiracy theory is that John Mason's character was actually possibly James Bond, captured by, and his time spent at Alcatraz was the reason he missed the middle film, because there's a Bond film where he's not in, and then he comes back.
That's the original Casino Royale
Yeah,
movie,
uh-huh.
which is terrible.
Now, here's the thing I want to ask you about The Rock. And I'll ask this, and then we can move on to our movies. And then, so we know why Ed Harris's character was doing this. Do you think that they were all sitting down in a room one day when they were all coming up with this? He's like, listen, we got to find a way to get recognized and get some money to give to these families.
I'll guarantee you beers were in hand.
And one guy was like, we could do a bake sale. No.
No.
We can do a GoFundMe. That's not going to work. That's
Car
not gonna
wash?
get, yeah, car wash. We have girls in bikinis.
Yeah.
No, we need to get rockets and threaten the entire world. I'm thinking bake sale might be a little better here, man.
Yeah, I could just we're gonna take hostages and we're gonna threaten all of San Francisco. We're gonna have a rocket fly over a Giants game, and like we'll kill them all.
One guy's like, literally, I am activating an account for GoFundMe right now.
Yeah.
We already have $100,000. It's only been on for 30 seconds. Come on.
Not
get it.
enough.
Nope. Rockets.
Yeah.
VX gas.
We're gonna rob the government from the Red Sea Trading Fund. What is that, sir? Not familiar? It's the government's illegal arms sales. Jesus Christ, Frank.
Then one guy pops up. He's like, I can make bracelets. And then he just gets shot in the head.
Yeah. And now we need 47 million.
Just pistol whips them.
I'm going to pistol whip the next guy says shenanigans.
Hey, Farvo. What's that place with all the goofy shit on the wall? Oh, shenanigans? Oh. They're coming out with a third one.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So they got the. So what's yours now? What's your Connery?
You know, I'm kind of torn on it. I mean, I like Hunt for Red October, but I'm going to go First Night.
Okay.
First Night was a good one. It was cheesy in kind of like the weirdest way.
Okay.
But also like cheesy. Well, not I won't say good, but weird, but like in a good way, because they. So First Night is essentially it's a tale or an adaptation of Camelot, and Sean Connery plays King Arthur, and he creates this kingdom. In the movie, he creates this kingdom where there's the Knights of the Round Table, and the knights are elected to the Round Table, I can't remember if it's Mordred or Morgan is actually who the bad guy is, but he was once one of the Knights of the Round Table and helped form the kingdom, but he was essentially kind of tired of living in Arthur's shadow. So he covets the city of Camelot because it's beautiful, it's vibrant, it's got a great economy going on. And so what happens is the Guinevere gets captured, and she's essentially a part of another kingdom that needs protection from the raiders, and so she goes off to basically she's doing an act of service of marrying Arthur because Arthur's without a wife, he has no heir to his throne, so in order to protect her people, the union between the two of them, so it would be arranged marriage. Well, she meets Lancelot, who at this point is basically just a sellsword. Mm-hmm. He's the greatest swordsman in the land, played by Richard Gere. And he ends up fighting off these bandits on her journey to Camelot and saves her. And it's like a love at first sight scene. So, she's got these, feelings for him, but she has to, protect her people. So she, in turn, then goes to Camelot. Well, he follows her, and there's this, I can't remember what they call it. It's essentially like a gauntlet that he has to run. And this is the cheesy part of it. It's like all these men go through it, and it's dangerous, but everyone fails at it because they're like it's kind of like Kong at Ready Player One. Like no one ever goes past Kong because they're afraid of dying and losing all their stuff in the game. Well, it's the same way here. Is like everyone's afraid that they're gonna die at the very end, and Richard Gere's character describes that he's going through it as, well, I don't fear death. I have nothing to live for, so therefore I don't worry about dying. And Arthur kind of also, falls in love with that aspect of his, his just zest for life, but also is like, well, you have such a fighting spirit. What if we gave you something to fight for? And offers for him to become a knight on the table, as they had an open spot. And so then, other things.
Galahad so he can have a spot on the table.
Galahad and Gawain are also in the movie. Smaller parts. But there's essentially they come in and they Mordred's forces ends up stealing Guinevere, and then Lancelot leaves the castle and goes to plead for her return, and ends up basically kidnapping her back. And then as the forces come back together, they have a scene under a tree where if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they make love, but they do kiss. But it's like a beautiful scene of everything's wonderful.
It's
like
PG-13 where
exactly.
they got it on.
Yeah. And then later it turns out that Arthur, finds out that the two of them are essentially in love, even though she had professed his love for her, but he realizes she was only doing it to save her kingdom, and he had the army to do so. It was a service act. And then so he orders them put to death. Mm-hmm. And as that's happening, Mordred ends up breaking into the castle, and there's a big fight between them. He ends up stabbing Arthur. And again, this is all spoiler alert for a movie that was in the 90s. And then finally, Lancelot and Mordred have their final battle, and he kills Mordred and ends up marrying Guinevere, and then takes over leadership of Camelot because Arthur passes. But Sean Connery is Arthur in the movie.
Dope movie.
It's actually really cool. The thing that's weird about it is like they don't really have like armor. Like all the knights have like this giant steel pauldron, and that's their armor. Like, okay, you've got one shoulder pad. Come on.
Like barbarian players in D&D.
Yeah.
Their armor is like 11 just because that's all they have. The one leather strap.
And so their colors, if I remember correctly, are silver and blue. And they have like the Camelot crest in the center. And then, of course, Mordred and all his bandits or whatever, they wear black, and then whatever else, works with black, which is apparently everything. Mm-hmm. And they all, they've got, poop and crap all over their face because they live in a damn cave. So, yeah.
Sounds horrible.
I mean, it was
No,
good.
The living experience.
Oh, yeah, the living experience is not... Yeah, no wonder he wants Camelot. You live in a damn cave. Dude.
Yeah. I don't want to live in a cave.
It's like, you got black mold over here, okay?
Yep.
I can't be upset with him for wanting a better living situation.
If you have feces on your face, black mold isn't my top priority. Yeah. I can get away from that.
Let them have cake. They're eating shit, sir.
Yes. Anybody want seconds?
Nope.
No.
I already had it. Literally.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you can't have too much of a good thing. I don't want to get hooked.
So, first night.
What about you, Mr. Tony?
Untouchables.
Okay, well, that was quick.
Yes.
Untouchables.
Great movie.
Only because his character, Sean Connery, plays Jim or James Malone in the movie. He is a veteran Irish-American officer. He's helping Elliot Ness.
He's a beat cop in Manhattan.
Yeah, basically. Or
Chicago.
And he's the one who... He never got put on, what they call now being on the take. Back then, corruption happened, with the mafia and stuff, because it's about Al Capone. You had Prohibition, Al Capone, all this other stuff going on.
And it's wild that in those days, like, they rarely, they never got any of them for murder. It was tax evasion. It's how they brought down the big guys.
Well, that's what they finally got him for. Or that's what their angle was. Because originally they were trying to catch him for just generalized crime, and bootlegging. But they're like, he came up with the brilliant idea, Elliot Ness and them, or I think might have been their accountant, because they had an accountant that would work for him. He was helping them fight. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but Elliot Ness recruits these group of guys because he's in the bureau.
FBI.
It's not called the FBI, but it's called like the whatever bureau for Prohibition, and that's what he's focused on. So he realizes he needs to step it up because Al Capone is just Al Capone and is ruthless. And
Played
so
by Robert De Niro.
Yeah, Robert De Niro. Very good. Wow.
This is basically the division of the ATF before there was an ATF.
Yeah. But they didn't even have it. Like
this is just the A.
They just went. They just went rogue.
Just the A.
It's kind of like the A team, but a legal version of the A team.
Right.
Like they work for the government, but they're not doing the job that they were hired to do.
Yeah.
He just kind of finds these people, and I think Jim Malone, if I remember correctly, I think he approached him because he wants to help him because he always catches all these other cops that are corrupt, and he never was, and so he hates corruption, and so he wants to take them all down. So his character in the movie really is kind of like the street voice like he's been a cop on the street for so long, he knows all the angles, he knows how to interrogate, he knows, investigate, like look into stuff. Whereas Elliot Ness's character, which is oh my God,
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, thank you. I just was like, it's on the tip of my
It's
tongue.
here. It's here.
I don't know why, but Kurt Russell flashed into my head. But I was like, nope, that's wrong.
Yeah, he was more of that agent, but like he had some training, but he wasn't in the field and the streets like these beat cops were. Because back then, it's not like the NYPD now, where you have your cops, your detectives, and this and that. I mean, they had those things, but if you were a beat cop, if you're just walking the streets, you did full investigations. Like you went into things, you interrogated people. So he was kind of the one to really push and tell them, hey, we need to push harder. This is what we need to do. I'll take care of the interrogation, like scaring the hell out of people. They get them in a room. So really kind of the muscle, but not muscle. The brain muscle, so to speak.
Yeah.
But he also, he got hands-on quite a bit too. But their whole thing is going after Capone, and he gathers this group of people that become the Untouchables, or as they're known. And they just go after Capone in a big bad way. They start finding out where his deliveries are going to be. They start sabotaging his deliveries, and they just really put him in a corner. And then to the point to where he's got to fight back. But his character in that movie, if you haven't seen The Untouchables, and again, this is not a spoiler because I think they said it came out in 87. So
You've had time.
Yeah,
Even I've seen it.
yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, definitely go and check it out. It's a really good movie. But one thing I have noticed, though, was as we're talking about Sean Connery, is if aside from the Bond films, there aren't a lot of movies where he is like the sole lead character. If you really look at it, like if you really go back into like Hunt for Red October, he was a major character, but I don't think he was on the top tier of things, but he just wasn't like the sole lead. So like The Rock. Wasn't really the sole lead. It was him
It was co-star, yeah.
Yeah, so the Bond films were probably some of the only ones where he was really the...
And I was going to bring this up, but Zardoz.
Okay.
Z-A-R-D-O-Z.
All right.
If you haven't seen this work of art, just think James Bond in a red leather singlet. And this isn't like a BDSM movie. This was a sci-fi movie from 1974. He's got a gun. So it could be a snuff film, but it's not.
He's got a gun.
Was this the cheaper attempt of Flash Gordon?
Yeah.
This movie is fucking weird, man. It's got a 5.8 out of 10, so I don't know how you can't call this a masterpiece.
Speaking of that, though, there's another movie called Flesh Gordon.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Not for children.
I don't even think that's for adults.
Right along the line of Saving Ryan's Privates?
Yeah, 18 and up, please. Let's be respectful. Full disclosure. It's not for kids.
But Zardoz is weird, man. It takes place in the 23rd century. You got sexy Sean Connery in a red, barely single... if you ever played a video game, like, the men get, like, full plate armor, and then women get, like, a bra. He's wearing that kind of armor. But basically, in the first like few minutes of the movie, you just see like floating stone heads flying over to people and just vomiting out food, I think, or garbage or something like that.
That sounds horrible.
Oh yeah, but then Sean Connery is a mercenary or gun for hire, and then he finds his way to the immortals who keep the human race alive. He does his Sean Connery thing and sleeps around.
Sean Connery thing.
It's a weird movie. Let me see what the description says. In the future, Earth is ruled by Eternals, an advanced and secret sect of beings who reign over the savage group called Brutals. The Eternals have created a god named Zardoz to imitate the Brutals, making them believe that killing is their natural state. However, Zed, Sean Connery, a brutal warrior, challenges that assumption when he enters Zardoz's monument and is captured by the Eternal, Charlotte Rampling. There, he learns the truth about the Eternals and the false god that rules society.
False.
And they fly around on like Silver Surfer hoverboards. It's weird, man. There was a lot of LSD and cocaine in that script writing.
Well, that's why why they wrote it like that. You had to be on those to enjoy the film.
Yeah, right?
This was made for psychedelics, bro.
It was made on psychedelics.
It's both.
If you want to watch it for $4, you can rent it on YouTube. I kind of want to recommend spending the $4. This movie is out there. But yeah, they're not all winners. I mean,
don't give us that.
this is one of those movies.
They're not all winners, buddy.
They're not all winners.
This is one of those movies that I love because it's so terrible, like
Yeah.
in a good way, like Robot Jocks.
How dare you? That is a triumph of some.
There was a robot chainsaw penis.
See?
Well, there's one I mentioned earlier, but offline when we first said we were going to do this one. I said it's called Time Bandits. Mm-hmm. And you guys said you haven't seen it before.
I have not seen Time Bandits.
And again, Sean Connery is not the title character, but I think at the time he was one of the more well-known actors, so he was put on the top tier of the list. But his character doesn't have as many scenes in there. But if you haven't seen Time Bandits and you like time travel, God and the Devil, dwarfs, and that's what they're named in the movie, so I'm allowed to say it. It's based on that.
I'm thinking of the D&D race.
You know, dwarfs that worked for God that stole a map to find ultimate treasure, and a little boy who gets caught up in the middle of it because they happened to jump through his bedroom as they were doing one of their time jumps. Then you'll like this movie.
Okay.
And
Sign me up, actually. That sounds dope.
and it's basically this kid. He's in I can't remember. It's like Wales or Britain or somewhere overseas. And you know he's with his parents, a normal life, normal kid, and he's going to bed. And one night he wakes up and hears a bunch of rustling in his room, and it's a bunch of these dwarfs, and they're trying to get through, and they have this map, and they're dressed all like I don't know how to describe their dress. It's almost like kind of like futuristic, but they change each area they go because they change into whatever outfit for the time period that they're in. And they've basically a door opens because this head starts chasing them, and it's the head of God. You find out later, and
Spoilers.
they worked for God, they were can't remember what they did, but they basically worked for the creation of the world. So they had different
Was
departments.
it like the same God in Holy Grail? Quest for the Holy Grail?
I know a little bit different, but
Everyone stop groveling.
kind of similar to that though. Yeah, he shows up
Real
as like this
quick, you can
giant
watch this on
floating head.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
But he shows up and he's always seems very angry, so you don't know it's God at first at the beginning. You find out way later.
I'm just looking at the movie poster.
And
for this
so
movie.
they
This is
find like
trippy.
the map has basically all these key points of where these time portal things are, and they have to find them and then open them. And so they bring the kid ends up going with him, and he gets stuck. And they're like in medieval times, and they're like in the future. They're in all these different time periods, and every time God keeps finding them. And I believe it was because they worked for God or up in heaven, whatever you want to call it, as like part of like engineers for the creation of the world and the universe, and they like help keep all the secrets or change things and fix things. And they heard about this map that had ultimate treasure, and they decided to be selfish and find it their own, so they stole God's map. And all the while, they're also being chased by the devil. But there's Sean Connery is this character in the movie Aganon.
King Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
Yeah, he's also credited as Fireman #1.
Yeah,
so
so-
he has two roles.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the movie, well, you find out later, but basically, he sees him as different people throughout the scene, but he runs into him as the king. I think in one of their medieval travels or wherever.
Yeah, right
he's
after
at.
they meet John Cleese as Robin Hood.
Yes,
John Cleese.
yes. But yeah,
Now,
so
now I gotta watch this movie.
Oh yeah,
and so basically, and at the end of the day, they get trapped by the devil, or the guy who's supposed to be the devil, and they all leave and split because they're trying to fight the devil, and then they take parts of the map and leave, and then they come back from all different portions of wherever they went to fight the devil. So one guy's like in a rocket ship with lasers on it, but they all end up getting defeated. The devil takes him down as he's about to kill him. The devil bursts into flames and turns into like rock. And God came and found him. And the guy that plays God, I can't remember his name, but when he comes out, he almost kind of reminds you of like Alfred Hitchcock. He's just like this guy in a suit, and he's like very well spoken, very soft spoken. And then they apologize to him.
Ralph Richardson.
Yeah, but they apologize to him. Sorry, sir. we didn't mean to steal the map and blah, blah, blah. He's like, that's all right. You're going to come back with me. And he's like, we'll find something for you to do. And they decide to go work for him. So they leave. And Kevin, the kid's name is Kevin. He gets stuck behind. And it's almost kind of like a never-ending story type thing. He's like stuck in this area. He's like, wait, what about me? And then there's just God starts making everything go away, and you see all the smoke. Well, the kid wakes up in his room, and the house is on fire. So then Sean Connery is one of the firemen outside, and he recognizes him as being the king there. So it's one of those crossover things where people play the same characters. But again, if you like dwarfs, if you like time travel, if you like maps with treasure, it's basically the Goonies. Oh God, you devil, and Back to the Future, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'm closer to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The way they
do run into Napoleon, according to the description.
Yeah, so all these different people. So
why do you look at me when you say shot?
Yeah. Definitely a good movie. Again, Sean Connery isn't the heavy focus of the movie, but he is in it, and I think he was one of the selling points for the movie. Like when they were trying to get it made, they're probably like, Mr. Connery, can we at least put your name at up top?
Sure.
So yeah, I said, why not?
Of course.
Which just insults left, right,
And it was
slap her right in the face.
Terry Gilliam was the director of the movie. But yeah, it's got quite a few people in there. John Cleese, Michael Palin, Craig Warnock. There's some people you would definitely recognize.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Shelley Duvall's in it too.
Yep. Famously from The Shining, if you're trying to picture her.
Yep, and David Rappaport.
Oh, David Rappaport.
So it's got some people in it, man.
Yeah.
And I want to say, the one guy who plays basically like the main dwarf. I don't know if it's the same guy that played Willow or not. I want to say maybe. But keep talking about it.
While you look that up, let's...
Warwick Davis.
So there are two movies that I definitely want to talk about, but I'm gonna let you guys decide which one we're talking about first. So option A or option B. I'm not gonna tell you which one is which. That is up for me.
B.
So the third Indiana Jones film,
The Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade. Sean Connery plays Harrison Ford's father, who told him like he was also like it's never like really said out loud or anything, but
Junior.
Yeah, he's like
I named the dog Indiana.
Yeah,
a dog. You were named after a dog.
But Sean Connery, he's also an archaeologist, but although it's never really like said out loud, but his white whale, his unicorn, is the Holy Grail, and he's been searching that for all of his life, and then. Shockingly, Indiana Jones gets put on, through Indiana BS. He winds up tag teaming with his father, and they find the Holy Grail. There's a...
Well, it was technically his father's research that he had done.
Yeah.
And he's picking it up from where he had left off, yeah.
And then they go on a Zeppelin, or a blimp, if you will, one of the greatest scenes in the world. They've... the Nazis grab Indiana Jones and he just punches him and throws out the window and he goes, "No ticket." And they're like, everyone just holds up their ticket. And then, they find the tomb of the Holy Grail.
I want to say, I believe watching, some behind the scenes commentary, I don't think there was there was a line in there. And then Harrison Ford came up with, he's like, well, what if I said to throw the crowd, because there weren't any other soldiers on the plane. It's like, what if I told him that he just didn't have a ticket, and it just sold.
Yeah,
and a lot
Gary Oldman in The Professional.
In the very first Indiana Jones, where he's in the courtyard. And the guy with a sword comes out and he starts flailing the sword around. There was supposed to be a scene where he fought him. And I think Harrison Ford was sick during the choreography. So he never learned it. So they were like, all right, well, he's going to get up there and flail the sword. And then Harrison Ford is going to pick out his gun and shoot him. And then he falls down. That was because he couldn't get the choreography right.
Well, do you remember when you said that with the no ticket thing? And I'm not sure because I haven't looked it up, but it popped into my head. I'm wondering if Kevin Smith did that as a nod to him in Dogma. Because if you remember in Dogma when they're on the train and they realize that Bartleby and what's his name, the fallen angels or the Angel of Death and whatever.
And Loki.
And Loki and Barnaby, when they, they're hanging out with them, but then they realize who each other are, and they get in that big fight. And then anyway, Jay and Silent Bob are fighting them, and Silent Bob ends up grabbing each one of them, throwing them off the train, and he stops. And it's one of the scenes where he actually says something, and the guy's looking at him. He's like, "No ticket." Almost exactly the same way. I'm wondering if he actually did that as a nod to that.
It might be. I hadn't thought about that.
Well, now you
Sorry.
No, solid reference. I'm not going to say no to Dogma.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, no, The Last Crusade, what's probably my favorite Indiana Jones movie. There's especially a scene where there's a Nazi plane trying to shoot at him on a beach, and Indiana Jones is like running for cover, and Sean Connery just pulls out on his brother umbrella. He's like, "I got this." And he just starts scaring, like, I don't know, 1,000,000 seagulls into the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the birds, but if they crash through if you're on a plane, the birds through
A whole flock of them, yeah.
Not
one,
even just
one
the
of them,
engine.
One of them would explode.
Yeah.
But a flock would, tear your plane up.
through the windshield of the plane and just like stabs the pilot in the heart. That's basically what happened.
Well, I also like the scene in there when they're tied to the chair.
And he's like back and forth.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, he wouldn't bring the book, you dote." And then he's like, "You mean this one? I should have mailed it to the fucking Marx Brothers." And then he starts out, he's like, "Oh yeah? I came here to save you." "Well, who's gonna save you, Junior?" And then he starts whipping ass. He's like, "Oh, look what you did."
Isn't there a scene when they're tied like that and they're yelling at each
Yeah,
other?
yeah, he's like, "Dad, what? Dad, what? Dad, what?" That's when the room's on fire and they're tied. Yeah, head for the fireplace. Oh. And he keeps hitting it, and he just spinning around.
Yeah, I like how it turns into like a Nazi secret war room. And
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah,
hit it
the
again,
other-
hit it again, hit it again.
Yeah, the other end of it is like where they're doing troop
Like-
deployments.
Yeah, like code cracking and stuff like that.
He just waves and like, oh, and when he tries to get into the castle, it's like, "I am here, and we are what is he? I'm here with my favorite Fräulein." He's a Scottish lord. That's what he was trying.
Okay.
"If you are Scottish lord, then I am Mickey Mouse."
Oh, you gotta love Germans.
Yes.
But yeah, that's one of the movies I wanted to speak about.
And
That
probably
movie
the
kicks
last
ass.
decent Indiana Jones movie out there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Because
the next two were
the
not
Crystal
great.
Skull I didn't like, and
I
then
barely
I
liked.
had high hopes for the revival or the new one where they brought everybody back, and they went to time travel,
Yeah,
Come on.
and I was like, I can't.
they
do
got
it.
rid of Shia LaBeouf, and honestly, good call. But I mean, still a bad movie.
Yeah. I mean, the only good part about it was they brought what's her name back into it. Martin Kidder? No.
Catherine Denning?
Yeah.
Kat Dennings is from Two Broke Girls.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
whatever. We could just
Well,
look
her
up who
name's
it is.
Kate in the
Yeah.
character's Kate.
It's the one that she was in the
Yeah.
first movie, but she was the one that could drink heavily. That was in Shia LaBeouf's mother,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically. And they break her back into it. But that was the last decent Indiana Jones movie.
Fun, quick Kat Dennings fact. Do you know who she's married to?
Sean Connery.
No.
I hate the fact that she's married, but anyway. Go ahead, make my day worse.
Come on, you're supposed to have the
that's-
answer ready.
Andrew WK. Shit you not. She is married to Andrew WK. Do you know who that is?
No,
Music artist.
I
from
don't know.
the late 90s, early 2000s.
Nope,
I mean,
no.
that kind of tracks. Because in a lot of her early films, she played, a very goth, emo character.
Grunge person.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, grunge.
Especially like House Bunny.
Yeah.
It puts the
And everybody's like, she cleaned up good. It's like, dude, have you seen Two Broke Girls? She's always been hot.
Yeah. Like, forever.
Quit trying to mainstream our goth women.
Stop it. I'm going back to the castle.
Yeah, I'm going back to the castle.
I never want to go back to that place.
Oh, come on
you
now.
big wuss.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving
Yeah.
on. Told you that story.
Now, there's going to be a lot of them, as usual, in most of these episodes that we're going to miss some of these or do honorable mentions, but I will bring up The Highlander.
No, that was
Yes.
the other movie I wanted to bring up.
Yeah,
There can be only one.
but there's so many, and they just kept coming back.
I know, yeah. Well, and I don't really know if I liked the second one because they made the second one like it was So in the original, it was like this lore of, there are these immortals, and then at the, new ones are born, but eventually there will just be one for the final showdown, and you get the prize.
Which that was the ending of the first one.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's not the ending.
And then the second one comes back, and it's like, no, they're not immortals. They're just from another planet or like another time that gets set back.
Yeah, it was originally a time, and then there was one of the Highlanders. I don't know if it was 3, 4, or 5, or however many they made direct to video, but there was one where they were in space.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
around
They're
another
in
planet.
space.
And I'm like, all right, we need to stop going to space with this stuff.
Well, but the second one, Sean Connery does come back as Ramirez. And that's when...
But I thought he only came back as like apparition. Like I thought it was just memory.
No, he came back because that's the thing is like it was the time or the dimensional rift.
Oh, that's right. It's been
thing.
so long since I've seen him, but
because he made like the it's in like this dystopian future almost, and he's like he's credited for making the shield or something.
And really, most people don't know that they're immortals until they have to die once.
Yeah.
They're
exactly.
known to like shed their immortal coil or whatever, because that's what happened to what's his name in there? Christopher Lambert. Mm-hmm. He was out there. He died, and then he came back, and then he comes back to life.
From the Culgan.
Yes, that guy.
They're supposedly still doing a remake with Henry Cavill as Conan McLeod. Yeah.
But that's the problem.
Sign me up for that one.
That was the problem with those movies. Like the first and second, I can get behind those, but after that, it was almost like whoever wrote the movie said, "I might write in this movie." Like this is a problem when they have an idea and it's just going to be one, and then someone's like, "Oh, this is really good. We got to write another one." But then they have to kind of make up this stuff, and then it goes backwards, and then
they also
changing.
had the show.
Yeah.
Which it was supposed to be his brother or cousin, Duncan McLeod.
Yeah.
I'm
immortal. I have inside me blood of kings. That was the beginning opening.
I know, I remember.
And I think it was Queen that did that song, if
was,
I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Boom. Knowledge. Useless knowledge.
Useless knowledge.
That's like 90% of my brain.
Well, now you got 91%.
Yeah, because in the show they came up with the Watchers, so there was the society that knew what they were and tracked them, but never interfered.
Yeah. It's basically like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, why?
Why do I always have to have a group of people following me and watching me,
staring me,
but never helping me?
Yeah,
you know
all
the
all
FBI.
this stuff.
Yeah, it's the CIA actually. They're watching you, but they don't help you.
No, they do not.
There's a funny reel on Instagram. It's about an FBI just like watching one guy. He's Googling how to boil rice. I don't think we have to go worry about this guy.
Yeah, there's nothing I am doing that's really FBI worthy right now or CIA worthy.
There is a movie, Gavin, that you've seen that I haven't, called Rising Sun.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Real shocker sentence.
This was it's kind of a wild movie because it has Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes sharing the screen.
Nice.
And it's a murder mystery. So essentially, what happens is an escort gets murdered at a company party of a Japanese-based company in Los Angeles.
I've seen this movie.
It's called Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, it's not Nakatomi Plaza, but it's like it's interesting that it brings in a whole lot of aspects of. So Sean Connery is essentially a military policeman, and I can't remember why he's part of the investigation, like why it falls under him. I think it's because of it being an international crime, and maybe I can't remember, his team is like trying to keep Interpol out of it or whatever. But Wesley Snipes is actually is a detective, and Sean Connery is a lieutenant colonel, and he goes off, and I remember this vividly because I was about to do ROTC, and when I was going to go to high school. This movie came out in '93, and I didn't watch it because of all the
boobs.
The nudity in it until I was in high school.
Still not 18.
It's still not 18, but I had parental guidance. I watched it with my dad. Well, he rented it, and I don't think he realized how much nudity was actually in it. And it was like, all right, don't tell your mom about this movie.
You're gonna like this one, boy. So am I. So am I.
We're watching it in separate rooms.
Yeah.
If your mother asked, we had McDonald's.
Yeah, you're right. So, we'll watch Ghostbusters again. But it's got the Yakuza in it. It's corporate espionage. And like in the end, like it's a big twist in. So they used deep fake in this before deep fake was even a thing. So they're analyzing this video, and one of the guy who at the maybe Wesley Snipes is with the FBI, but who the guy that they have who's a professional videographer. They're like, okay, well, this scene has been doctored. And so there's one scene after, so essentially the escort gets taken into a room and she gets choked out to death while having sex on a table. And so as the cameras are catching the assailant leave, and then as they're leaving, you get one still shot of him looking directly into a reflection of the wall, and that's how they ID him. And it's the guy who was played Shang Tsung in the original Mortal Kombat. I can't remember the actor's name.
It's very Japanese. I'd have to look it up.
Very Japanese.
So essentially, they're framing him for the act because of his ties to the Yakuza or to the mob, and there's a samurai sword fighting scene. That might be it, because that might be the tie-in for Sean Connery. If I can't remember the full tie-in of him, he may have been the military police liaison to Japan, which is why there's the crossover between the jurisdictions. But I just remember Sean Connery having a scene in there, and a guy calls him Major. So in the military, there is a gold maple leaf and a silver maple leaf. So the gold maple leaf, so your ranks of lieutenant, second lieutenant, captain are typically gold. And then as you get above that, you have major, then you have lieutenant colonel, and then what they call a full bird colonel. So he had a silver maple leaf, which denotes a lieutenant colonel.
I thought gold was lieutenant colonel.
Gold underneath was supposed to be lower rank.
Oh, okay.
If I remember correctly, I will check on this and make sure I get back.
I'll
to you.
rewatch all of Stargate SG-1 and watch.
Indeed.
I will watch Samantha Carter's career progress and just let you know.
If I'm not mistaken, all the stars on the generals are all in the army are all silver.
They are, and the full bird is silver.
Exactly. So the gold would be major, and then the silver maple leaf would be lieutenant colonel.
Okay.
And so someone calls him major in the investigation early on in the movie, and he just lays the dude out. He's like, "This is the mark of a colonel." And I'm like, dang, okay, get him.
Don't mess around with me.
But so it's like this weird, you're uncovering a mystery the whole time. Every time you think you found out the answer, it changes, and you literally don't find out who killed the escort until the very end of the movie. And it's like a nothing burger. I think they don't even take him into custody. They let the Yakuza take care of business.
Oh, okay.
Because they ended up killing one of their own because they framed him for it when in actuality it didn't happen like that. So they're like, yeah, you know what? You're going to get what you deserve.
You guys take care of this one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Batman Begins. It's like, I don't have to save you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It just goes away.
I don't have to kill you. I just don't have to save you.
Yeah.
No, take me into custody. No.
I'm going to forget I saw you. Yeah. I'm also going to forget I saw those 50 dudes.
As a matter of fact, I'm burning your passport.
Doesn't matter. You ain't going to need it.
But again, a very good suspense movie from 1993. And again, I couldn't imagine that pairing, being on the same screen together. And they did really well with feeding off of each other for the cop banter.
Interesting. Well, I have one.
I know you pulled it up.
I know.
Wikipedia page.
And there could be only one.
Well, I wanted to make sure I had there was a couple things I want to make sure I had clear on it. But so the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he plays Alan Quartermain. It's it was based off a comic, and has Dr. Jekyll, It has
Dorian Gray.
Captain Nemo. You know, they're out trying to get this bad guy. But there's an interesting fact about why this is a very important movie with Sean Connery.
Not a very good movie, but an important one.
An important one. Can you guess why this movie was important?
It's his second to last movie he made.
No.
Oh.
Nah.
It was his last live action movie.
That's right. His next one was animated.
Yep. He came out of retirement way later, because this was 2003 when this came out.
Yeah,
And I think it was 2012, maybe?
Yeah, where Sir Billy came out.
Yeah, so it was his last live action. He went into retirement after this movie. Not the highest note to go out on, because, if you watch the movie, I didn't have a problem. I didn't have any problem with it, but I didn't know anything about the comic beforehand, so I had no frame of reference. So for me, I was just like, okay, I can enjoy it.
I knew all of the individual characters outside of Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Like who was the American? Was he Billy the Kid?
No, it was oh my god, it's Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer. That's what it was. Yeah. But it was interesting how they made the characters because, like, with Dr. Jekyll, when he turned into Mr. Hyde, he was like almost like the Hulk.
Yeah.
But only like part of himself. Like he was. If you notice, his body was like offset, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was like gigantic
it was
arms
more
with like
like
smaller body.
Hunchback kind of esque.
Yeah. He would just basically get big in the arms.
He skipped
and the
leg
face.
day.
Yeah,
He was full Johnny Bravo.
Yeah,
Big chest, no legs.
I mean, his legs got bigger, but compared to him, he
he
looked like almost like a caricature version of the Hulk. Really.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I just remember that, and then what's his name took that potion, took all of it.
Oh, yeah. Not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing. But you know, it's fun. I think they had some fun. Like I did like the ride that they had. His car, Alan Quartermain's car.
Oh,
Captain Nemo's car.
Or Captain Nemo's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not in the original 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
No, but again, the original Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde didn't look like that either.
Yeah.
No.
So they definitely took liberties.
And
in
Mr.
the
Hyde
comic.
was a savage killer. This guy was just like you said, the Hulk. He just gets angry and punches things.
Yeah, he just went through stuff. Didn't care. But no, it's again, like you said, it was a fun movie. It's not like it was like how I was watching the Avengers or something, or be like, oh, this is not the way it's supposed to be. I had no reference to that, so I was like, oh, this is just fun. He's got a neat car. Kind of reminds you of like the first time you watched like the original Batman 1989.
Yes.
You see the Batmobile, or trying to think of what other vehicle to kind of compare it to. They're just like fun cars, you know, like Dick Tracy's car,
or even the remake or the Christian Bale Batman, like the military version of the car. I really kind of like that too.
Yeah, it was just like that was the moment you had. You're like, oh, that's a neat
that
car.
one, and it also kind of seemed plausible. Like it had like the unfinished look of a R&D car, not a.
But it was also like a roadster. There was no backseat, barely a windshield.
Well, yeah. I mean, when they described what it was supposed to be. It was just supposed to be,
It was a jumper.
Exactly.
It was supposed to be able to jump cliffs to.
Exactly. To
build bridges.
Build bridges.
Yeah.
We never could get the bridge to work, but this works just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take one. Well, you wouldn't take one because it didn't have a back seat. Is Batman just trolling around with friends?
Yeah.
Batman has no friends.
He's got Robin and Oracle. Like, you need the
But
back
they're not
seat.
really friends. They're allies and partners. If you really
Batgirl.
think of...
I mean, to be fair, that's true. If you look at the races between Batman and Robin, they are not friends in any of the comics.
If you look at the thing with Batman and anybody, is he really... Go back through all of the lore and
Well, he does sleep
with
with Barbara Gordon once.
Well, I'm not talking
I
about
would like to
relationship.
think you're friends at that point.
I'm talking about just friends, like buddies, pals. In any of the movies or TV shows or cartoons or anything,
he was a loner.
Did you ever see him have a friend besides Alfred?
No.
Alfred was probably
Damn
the
it.
only thing that he probably had.
That was going to be my answer.
But again, he was also more of a parent figure too.
And what is your superpower, Ben? I'm insanely rich.
I've got lots of money.
or like as we're talking about, Mortal Kombat. What's your superpower, mate? I'm insanely handsome. You kidding me? Another great Kano line.
Yes. But we only have about 2 minutes left, so any honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions is Entrapment. Any male alive in 1999 that saw that famous Catherine Zeta-Jones practicing the laser. practice how you perform, and she was in tight leather spandex during every one of those scenes.
They did a nod to that and Get Smart.
Yeah,
Hunt for Red October.
yeah.
Yep. Basically, any of the other James Bond movies
Yeah.
that he was in.
And he also did a ton of movies that I haven't seen, like in the 60s.
Yeah, there was.
There's one called Meteor that looks interesting.
Oh, also Dragonheart, which he wasn't in physical form.
You've
But
never seen Dragonheart. Dennis Quaid plays a con man that paired up with a dragon.
he's a sellsword knight.
Yeah.
Well, the Sean Connery as a dragon menaces like a little village. He's like,
Yeah.
I've got the fix for you. And then he fires like the ballista at it and he catches it. He's like, oh no,
And he
you
goes,
got
oh!
me. Yeah.
Well, the one I forgot about, again, it wasn't like a high caliber, it was Medicine Man.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean,
It's
there's.
been a while since I've seen that.
I mean, like you said, there's plenty of movies out there that probably, like, a lot of them I haven't seen, like, if they're way, way earlier.
Wrong is right.
Well, I forgot he was in Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh,
Yeah, the original.
Yeah,
Forgot
the
about
original.
that one. But yeah, so there's plenty of movies. If we missed any, as usual, send us an email. Talk to us at Movie Talk.
And we've already done a James Bond episode, so we left those movies
Yes,
out.
yes, of course.
Plus, it's been forever since I've seen like Dr. No. Like,
Yeah. But that is all the time we have. So again, if we missed anything, we apologize. Let us know and we'll bring it up on the next one. But we'll continue to keep you updated. I just saw in an email I was telling these guys before we started recording, Sunscreen's already starting their screenings for next year's submissions. So if you're a filmmaker out there and you want to get your movie in, there's plenty of time, but getting it in earlier is always better.
Absolutely.
Because they have more time to really take a look at it, review it, and you might get an answer a lot sooner than later. But we'll keep you up to date with all that. More up to date on what we're going to be doing for our 5th year celebration. It's not an anniversary when it's 3 guys together. And we'll just keep you updated on all the stuff coming up. But until then, for Movie Talks and Show, we are your hosts. I am Tony Serrato.
I am Gavin Butts.
I'm Patrick Wall.
All right, guys.
Apparently,
Take
he
care.
did a movie called Women of the